Well, come on. I don't...
What do you want from me?
I don't want anything from you. I should actually be thanking you.
Uh-huh. For what?
I've been begging for arms here for days, but I didn't make any real coin till today. And that's thanks to you. The scene you made brought out nearly all of Troskowitz.
You're welcome. At least it was good for something.
Oh well, not many people can make such a strong first impression. But look on the bright side. Now things can only get better.
Barely. Look at me. They just let me out of the pillory. Nobody wants anything to do with me. And I don't even know what hill that is over there.
Well, that there hill is Slatego. And you pull yourself together. Like Tomcat says, nothing's impossible. And bruises build character.
Do you know anything more about Tomcat?
They say he's a master swordsman, but a real joker too. He loves showing off to girls.
Do you think Tomcat might teach me a few of his tricks?
No offense, but compared to him, you're a bit of a lightweight.
I don't want to pull wagons, but if he can handle a weapon, I'd be happy to train a little with him.
Well, one of the guards tried to take him on and came back whipped like a dog, moaning like he'd been broken in two.
Well, sure. If he's that strong, I'm not surprised.
More like some trick he's got that our watch doesn't know. Or at least that's what the poor man said.
Hey, you. What's your name, anyway? What do you do?
I'm Bara. Just Bara.
Looks like you know your way around here pretty good. You're from here, right?
I ain't. I'm just passing through.
Why exactly are you helping me?
Why? Why? Because you look like you need it. I've been in the ship plenty of times, and I know how appreciated a helping hand is in times like that.
Where are you headed, if you're only passing through here?
For work, to the city. I'm tired of serving landholders. They all promise the moon, but then you're eating stale bread, cold porridge, and a nary a groschen in sight. With the city folk, it's bound to be better.
What do you want to do in the city?
I'll find something. I'm not afraid of work. I'm not half-witted. Maybe someone could use a cook or a servant.
Don't get your hopes up. The city can be a pretty dangerous place for a girl on her own.
You mean they don't hand out groschen by the bucketful? And the streets aren't full of roasted stuffed geese? I appreciate your concern, but I have to get to the city first. That's going to take me a long while yet.
You said you were going to a city. You mean like to Prague? Or somewhere further?
I'd like to go to Prague, but I don't know anybody there. In Kuttenberg, at least I have a cousin.
Aha. So you're going to visit her?
Well, she doesn't know it yet. But I won't be troubling her long, just until I find a way to make a living.
You're something like a wanderer?
Nah, I usually find work with someone, stay for a while, and once I save a bit, I move on.
Then why are you begging here?
Sometimes I collect herbs for the apothecary, or help in the tavern. But I'd like to go somewhere else, so I'm scraping up whatever I can. But on the whole, you could say I'm a traveller, or a nomad. But don't say it too loud, the locals don't take kindly to them.
Why?
Because they're different, and it scares people. They travel from place to place and take their home with them.
I'd like to see what their homes look like.
You can go and see them, just don't stare too long.
It's no wonder nobody wants anything to do with me. I look like a vagrant.
At least you're not walking around bare-arsed. Although that might not be a sorry sight.
Ah, very funny. I'd rather you tell me where I might get some clothes.
And what do you have in mind? Brocade and satin?
a monk's robe, or perhaps Sir Brunswick's armour?
I could use some armour. Proper, like, for a knight. And no rusty junk.
And you are like a knight?
Well, yeah. I don't look so good. But I swear I came here in armour, sword at my side, and on a horse.
Wow. And where is your armour, sword, and horse now?
That's a long story. And it's not a happy tale.
Well, you can hardly buy new armour now, but you might find something in the town hall armoury, although you'll need quick hands.
Thanks. These'll come in handy.
Just don't get yourself caught again.
I have no money. I might as well beg on the village green like you.
The hell you will. This is my turf. Here you go. I'll skip supper. It's partly your doing anyway.
Wow. I mean, thank you. Seriously.
Yeah, don't start crying. You'd better find some work quick.
I really need something to wear.
I can see that. Save up for something or use those lockpicks. Either way, I can't help you anymore.
Damn. I could use a horse. It'll take years to get to Semine on foot.
Don't exaggerate. This province is small.
Still, it'll be faster with a horse.
There's a stud farm in Semine, renowned far and wide.
And which way is Semine?
Southwest from here, not too far. There's a road goes right there from the green. Just go down the hill. Once you see the walled farmhouse, you're there. Though I'll be a queen before you can afford a horse from Semine.
Do you know where I might find accommodation?
Betty in the tavern lets people sleep in the hay. But you have to pay.
I'm not going near that tavern. I'd catch hell again. Got any other ideas?
If you find some work, maybe you'll get a place to sleep too.
My main concern is getting to that wedding in Semine. Do you know anything about that celebration?
Well, yeah. People are talking of nothing else. The Lord's son is getting married to the sister of that lout he was fighting with.
How much time do you think I have? Have the preparations already begun?
From what I hear, the bride's dress still ain't finished, and blacksmith Radovan still ain't started smithing the gift for the groom. So, no rush.
Hopefully by then I'll find a way to sneak in. Oh well, it was nice to meet you, but I should probably get going. Get a job, and so on.
Don't worry, you'll manage. Till we meet again.
I'd like to report an ambush. Some scoundrels attacked my lord's retinue and killed our men.
That's a serious matter. Where is your lord?
Well, he left.
I don't understand why he's not lodging a complaint himself, and why not directly at the castle. He has that right as a lord.
It's a long story. My lord got very angry and then went missing.
Sorry, fella, but I'm not sure whether you're making it up or lying to me. But if you were telling the truth, why don't you bring your lord here and we can talk it all over calmly? I'm sorry, lad, but until then, I've got more important things to do.
I need to speak with Sir Otto.
With the Royal Chamberlain? Are you yanking my official pizzle?
Why not?
I'd like to talk to him too, boy, but he's still in Prague. He's hardly ever here. Chamberlain Ulrich is in charge of things.
And where do I find him?
Where do you think? Up in the castle.
But they won't let me in there.
What do you want me to do about it? That's your problem. I'm not going to put in a word for you. I hardly know you.
Excuse me, I'm looking for the man who was in the pillory with me yesterday. Have you seen him?
I can't help you with that. You'll have to find him yourself.
I'd like to buy something. Where can I find some merchants around here?
If it's a tradesman you're after, most of them live here in the village, of course. Your best bet is to ask our merchant Jörg. He knows everyone. I'm sure he'll help you.
What's new, bailiff?
Nothing special. Fortunately, Troskovitz is a quiet village. It's peaceful here, and the war has avoided us so far, thank God. Just here and there a brawl in the tavern or the neighbour's errant cow. Well, that's how it was until recently, at least.
And what happened?
What do you think? It started with that nomadic riffraff, theft of hens and sheep, then continued with ambushes on the road. And then the wolves started to come in from the forests on account of the poachers killing off their prey. Oh, and then our master Chamberlain Ulrich. Oh my God. But that's no business of yours, understand?
I understand. That's your business, bailiff. What's new in the county, Master Bailiff?
I heard something's going on in Tachov again. Project the Innkeeper is probably coming up with some mischief to pull on the Zelievites. Will they never cut it out? Their bickering is making work for me. And now I've been visited by one of the local peasants. He said he found more fresh graves behind his field, just below the village, along the road to Nabokov.
What do you mean, more? You sound like this isn't the first time.
That we found someone buried here? Don't even ask. I've been digging up bodies ever since that bandit gang started running rampant. Most of them are von Burgo's men. Also, if it wasn't bad enough, that gang of bandits is rampaging through the region. Now someone's stealing cabbage from the peasants. What a disaster.
Cabbage?
Aye, and the peasants won't stop bugging me about it. I was just visited by a peasant from Jadar. He's been talking my ears off for God knows how long. Say, do I really have to do this? Do I have the time to look for some moron stealing cabbages? And that's about it.
That sounds interesting. Thank you.
What do you want here, you scoundrel? Why'd you barge in here?
Well, it was here. Did someone take it?
Anything's missing, I know.
Don't cause any trouble. Got it?
Welcome. You can buy everything you need from me, but excuse the selection. A few days ago, when I was returning with new goods, the horse got spooked and my wagon tipped into the pond. I salvaged some things, but the rest is now in the pond.
And where did the wagon tip?
On the roads near the Katchak pond, beyond Zhelyov. You can still find it there. I can't tell you how much it still pisses me off, but what can I do?
Sorry to hear that.
Me too, but what can I do? So, what will it be?
I wanted to ask you, what's on the other side of that nearest hill? I'm not from here, and I'd like to get my bearings. You look like a merchant to me, so you probably know best.
Ja, natürlich, you're not from here. Everyone around here knows that, after what happened in Betty's Tavern. Aber das ist deine Sache. That is your business, lad. Also, what do you want to know?
Is there anything I should avoid around here?
Certainly. Stirring up trouble and sticking your nose into other people's business. Here in the village, we don't care much for outsiders. If any do come, they better behave.
I understand that, but we were ambushed by bandits. So I wanted to ask if you know anything about that.
Ach so, ich verstehe. The woods have been full of all manner of rebel recently. That is all because of the war. Verdammte Schurken.
So you've already heard about these bandits?
About those ones in particular, or about others. They are all just gleichen Scheißkerle. Every time I go to the town, the bailiff must send an armed escort with me. It makes life difficult.
So the roads aren't safe?
Ja, das kann man wohl sagen. Herr von Bergo should do something about it at last. But Herr Otto spends more time in Prague than here. And Chamberlain Ulrich... Ach, lassen wir das.
Can I find other merchants around here?
Zum Glück nicht, junger Mann. I'm the only merchant here around Trotsky. Oh, natürlich. There are plenty of tradesmen here who sell their goods. There is Bartosz, the tailor. He lives at the other end of the village. The apothecary, Emmerich, lives across from me. They are hand in glove, or more like hat in hat.
What do you mean by that?
Nichts weiter. Just that they play at being educated men. Along the scribe Geibel, they are always studying some Latin tracts. But of the three, perhaps only Geibel knows Latin, if he really does at all.
Is there anyone else here?
Oh ja. Beyond the tailor's house on the edge of the village is where Bashka the butcher lives. Opposite the Rathaus is the carpenter. The rest of the villagers are just peasants, and you are already familiar with the tavern.
Where do you go for wares? What's the closest town?
The closest is Sobotka, the biggest Gichin, what you call Gichin. And farther north there is Turnov. Half of that one belongs to Herr von Bergo.
Is it far?
Das kommt darauf an. It takes all day on foot. Wenn du was brauchst, the goods I have here will have to do you. I do not think you will get to the town anytime soon.
What do you have for sale?
Wofür hältst du mich? I don't want anything to do with stolen goods.
God bless you.
Greetings.
God bless.
Word about the price.
Natürlich, kein Problem.
Do you accept?
Well, if you offer a little bit more, we can make a deal. Why? You'll convince me with that price? Du wirst sicher zufrieden sein. Bis bald.
God! Whoa! Whoa! Another of von Bergov's men. Quick! Quick! Ja! quick! Ja!
Whoa! Whoa!
Pliers. What do you need? Hurry up! I don't have all day.
I'm here then. You said in the alehouse that you could do with a helping hand at the forge, didn't you?
I could. My last two hands, well, they're not worth mentioning. And what with the wedding coming up, the work is piling up. Ah, what's your name? Henry?
That's right.
You should know, Henry. The blacksmithing isn't for everyone. Have you done it before?
Yeah. I basically grew up in the forge. My father was a swordsmith, and not just any. He even forged swords for the nobility.
For the nobility, eh? Well, that kind of experience will come in very handy for me indeed. As it happens, I have to forge a wedding present for young Lord Semine. A fine sword.
So you'll take me on?
Hold your horses. I'll have to try you out first. You could forge me a hunting sword as a test, so I can see if you can make a straight blade. That shouldn't give you much trouble if your father was a swordsmith, should it?
Sure thing. I can get started right away.
Great. Find some iron and get started then.
Iron?
You can't make a sword out of butter, but if you don't have your own stuff, you can get everything from the chest in my forge. Go over to the anvil and let's get started. Some things, like swords, are too long to fit in the fire. You have to heat it up bit by bit and try poking it around for a bit. Now get the furnace nice and hot. There's a lever above it. Give it a pull. It works better. Temperature by the color, but you won't be able to tell when it's in the fire. You have to take it out from time to time and take a look. Try it out. See? That's exactly the straw color we want. You've got talent, lad. Now heat up the whole thing. The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Try moving the sword along the anvil so you can get the hang of it. Now take the hammer and try hitting it a few times. See the sparks? That's the sign of a good strike. The more sparks, the better. Also, you can hammer with different degrees of power. A stronger hit will do more, but it'll tire you out faster. Try giving it a few blows, as hard as you can, so I can see how strong you are. That's got a nice ring to it. Of course, if it was all about hitting an anvil with a hammer, Any dolt could do it. You've got to hammer the workpiece evenly. One hit next to the other. Very nice. You're doing just fine. But when I say evenly, I mean it. A sword has two sides, like a lot of other things, including myself. Turn it over and continue on the other side. Nice. Now try forging it on both sides. The closer it is to being finished, the more it will take on the shape you want. It'll cool off soon anyway. It's cooled now. You can't do it all in one go. You've got to put it back in the furnace from time to time. Sometimes you've got to go there and back all day. But it's all part of the craft. Now, get back to the forge and heat it all up again, like before. Henry, stop gaping into the fire like a fortune teller and heat it up. The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Hear that? Besides the sparks, you can tell a good strike by the sound it makes. Well struck. See how it's taking on the right shape? That's how you can tell it's almost finished. Now, I've got a piece of advice for you. Hammer to a rhythm. When I hammer a piece to a beat, the work goes by easier. Sometimes I'll whistle to myself to keep the rhythm going. That's some nice whistling. It's easier to forge. That's the ring you want. That's some nice whistling. It's easier to forge to a rhythm, isn't it? Keep on whistling. Make sure you keep up the tempo. Very nice. I see you know how to keep on rhythm. There you go. You've got it finished. All that's left is to temper it, and the sword will be done. The rest is just tweaking. Right. Let's have a look. Very nice work. Your father taught you the trade well.
He'd certainly be happy to hear that.
If you carry on hammering as well as you did today, you've definitely got a job here. Even so, keep in mind, it's all about making sure every strike does its job. That's why you can't let it get cold, or keep striking the same spot. If you work evenly, each strike falling right next to the last one, you can't go wrong. Got that? Or is there something else you want to ask about?
How will I know it's finished?
Notice the shape. The closer you are to finishing, the more precise the shape it will have.
Thanks. That's all I need to know.
You can sleep in the chamber by the woodshed. And there's a chest where you can keep your things. And of course, you can use the forge anytime you want. Any questions?
Where exactly is my bed?
At the side of the house. There are 2 doors and a wheelbarrow between them. You go in by the rear door, next to the woodshed, and you can put your things in the chest there. Don't worry, nobody will steal them.
What can I do with the items I've forged?
Well, you can sell them, though you probably won't have much luck around here. But I'll happily buy some of the nicer things from you.
Where can I get materials?
You can buy some essentials from me, but if you want to make a fancy sword with lots of ornamentation, you'll have to look elsewhere. This is just a village, you know. The locals ain't after luxury. They can't afford it neither.
What now?
What do you think? You're not going to be idle. I'll find you some work to do right away. You're pretty good at swords, but what the locals really need is axes and horseshoes. Right, here are some simple drawings that show what they're both supposed to look like. And some iron. You can get down to it right away.
Just like that? You aren't going to help me?
Sacre, lad. I chose you because you already know a thing or two. I'm not going to look over your shoulder all bloody day. You take care of these smaller jobs. Forge away as long as you're able, and then sell it all. Once you've made some coin and feel like being out in the open again, I'll give you some more interesting work.
Keep the peace, and we won't have any problems.
Greetings.
Ah, nothing serious. You didn't have much anyway.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Good day to you.
God be with you.
What do you want?
That's a fine maypole.
How can I help you today, friend? It's about those two idiot hands of mine, Venser and Franzi. They drove off with a cart full of goods towards Semin, and they never came back.
Do you want me to find them?
Just so. But more importantly, I want to know where my cart ended up, and especially the cargo. Go to Semin and find out what the bloody hell happened.
What was the cart carrying?
Bugger and bollocks. All sorts of stuff. I'd say Lord Semin wants to rearm his garrison with new equipment. There were some hunting swords, bastard swords, crossbow bolts. I also fixed the trigger on young Semin's crossbow. And some kitchen stuff. Sacks of charcoal, all sorts of things. There's a good month's work in that cartload.
Those two hands of yours, Venser and Franzi, what can you tell me about them?
Can't tell you much. They're wandering laborers. I don't think they wanted to stay here with me for long, but these days I can use all the help I can get.
Were they suspicious in any way?
No, they worked hard. They ain't no slackers. And I can't say that about everyone.
Have you any idea which way they might have gone? I could have a look along the way. Maybe their cart broke down or something.
There's only one road to Semin that can take a cart. It leads from Tachov to Troskovitz, and then to the south. But I've got a bad feeling they got up to no good in Semin.
All right. I'll get right on it then.
Go ahead. And if you find that pair of fools drunk, kick their asses for me.
Gladly. I'll kick some sobriety into them.
I heard about this fella who always got heartburn just before it snowed. You could team up.
All we need is a bloke who can't get it up when it's going to be sunny, and we'll be the three wise men.
3 cripples, more like.
lost a fifth of my field because of him. A fucking fifth!
You're having problems with the Zheliovites?
Not just me, my friend. They're the biggest bastards around. They've been nothing but trouble for years. The winter before last, they piled snow in front of everyone's doors at night, so no one could get out of their house. And last year, they broke into my cellar and pissed in my beer barrel.
Gracious. I hope you got your aim back on them.
Not yet, no. But since you're here, I've got a plan you could help me out with. I'd pay you well. You can count on that.
What exactly would you like me to do?
Don't worry. I won't make you do any shoveling or pissing anything. But I'll tell you exactly what I have in mind, only after you promise to help me. I'd hate to reveal my plan, only for you to go off and tell the Zheliovites right away.
All right. I'll help you.
Listen up then. Old Olbram, the owner of the biggest plot of land in Zheliov, has this beautiful bull. White as snow he is. The finest animal far and wide. Obviously, he's very proud of it. Very protective too. Now you, will give his beautiful snow-white bull a nice new coat of paint. Olbram is going to lose his mind. Simple, right?
Painting a bull, eh? That sounds like fun.
Right. We just have to work out a few details. First, we have to get some paint. I don't reckon we'll be able to get any here in the village, but you can try and ask Bartoszek, the tailor in Trotskovitz. I hear he dyes his own fabric. And after that, we'll have to make sure the bull stays still while you're painting it. Try asking Radovan, the local blacksmith. I hear he can make some kind of sleeping potion. If you pour it in the bull's water trough, I'm sure it'll do the trick. But watch out. That beast is enormous. You'd better put at least 3 doses of the potion in there.
All right then. Olbram's bull will be getting a new coat of paint.
Olbram's going to lose his mind. I can't wait. And remember, it's supposed to be a joke. If you get caught or something goes wrong, the whole thing will be ruined.
Right. So I need paint, sleeping potions, and to not get caught. Why do you and the Zheliov lot hate each other so much, anyway?
It's their fault. They keep playing tricks on us. Olbram's the worst of them all. The nasty old codger. He's always coming up with ways to mess with us. He's the one that stole our pasture.
What pasture did they steal from you?
The one that stretches from the orchard behind the Tachov down to the gamekeeper's lodge. It's been ours since time immemorial, but the Zheliovites took it from us.
Scratching my balls all bloody.